Hi guys, on this show we're looking at Franklin, Hart, Alina, Workman, Reese, Lloyd, Julia and Huston. We're looking at 1981's Addams Family. Da-da-da-dum.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 100 Things We Learned From Film, your premiere podcast for facts about films. I'm one of your hosts, my name's Planty, and I've told you already, Mr. Addams, we don't know where they are.
And I'm the other guy and I'm pretty handy. Da-da-da-dum.
Oh, very good.
There's a thing.
Yeah,
All looks better on video. All looks better on video.
John, how are you?
I'm alright, mate. Oh, I could have just done that.
Oh, more hand stuff. Yeah, you love a bit of hand stuff, don't you?
Yeah. Softens the hands. I'm alright, mate. It's working hardly working, and it's Friday feeling, got beer in hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and as
happy.
people listen to this, it's Monday, so fuck us, basically, is what they're thinking as they make their commutes to work. All six of them. Yeah. Of course, as I said at the top of the show, with the podcast, we're trying to learn 100 things from every film. John, this week we are talking about what?
The Addams Family for 1991.
1991. Any relationship with this film at all?
I know I liked that. But no, I wasn't really. To be fair, I was more into the series.
The old
Family,
60s TV show.
That and the Monsters. Yeah. That and the Monsters.
John Astin.
Were the best thing.
Still alive.
Yeah. You're still alive, man.
Samwise Gamgee's dad.
So it is, aye?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And my least favourite of the Goonies is Dad.
Yeah. Oh, is that yeah?
Yeah, don't like him.
No good.
Anyway, look, I was probably like weekend one in the cinemas for this. I'd have been 11 and I was absolutely just eating up whatever I could at the cinema at the time. And I had it on VHS. It was a Christmas present. I got this on VHS. And I've seen it probably about 20, 30 times.
VHS is coming back.
Is it?
Have you not heard about this? Alien Romulus has been released on all formats, including VHS.
Is it? Oh my God, that's for tossers, isn't it?
Aye, I'm going to get the old...
That's for tossers that listen to this podcast.
I'm going to get the old Bush VHS out. Aye. So
it's I was going to say we've got one somewhere in the house. We haven't. That's bullshit. Get that Shrek VHS TV thing. Combi job.
Oh, I've seen that.
Get that out if we can. So I love this. I hadn't seen this in probably about 20 years, though, and remembered so much about it when it happened, but so little about it at the same time. But
the only thing that struck me was the granny was different. I'm like, what?
I always thought it was, what's her name? Yeah, Carol Kane. Is it Carol Kane in the next one?
She's
is it really?
One,
right.
Yeah.
I assume because she was either rubbish or deed. One of the two.
No, the excuse they used was, this is actually a fact, the excuse they used is they thought that the second film that she would need to be a bit more physical.
A bit more spry. Is Granny spry?
Which I think is a bit of a lie, because I remember the second one, she didn't jump about, she just made stuff in a cauldron and stuff like that, so I think that was maybe just an excuse to get the old lass out.
To get rid of the old hag herself. Yeah. Okay,
yep.
Fair enough. If you like what we do, you can give us a quid and we will shout you out every episode. We'll also give you the chance to vote for a film or put you on the wheel, put you on the rack, like in this film.
On the wheel.
Put you on the wheel and spin. Next episode is chosen by Gav McGill, who's a lovely lad who gives us a quid. Do so at patreon.com/100 things. 100 Things Film, or go to 100 Things We Learned From Film.co.uk for all of our links. Right, shall we begin?
Let's do this.
Champion. Right, so we open up this particular movie with Paramount Pictures. We've done Paramount Pictures to fucking death, I think. So there's none of that. But we do learn that it is a Scott Rudin film. Scott Rudin.
Yep. So Team America, baby. Whoop, whoop. So he produced Team America and The Truman Show.
All right, yeah. The guy has got some fucking some chops. He's an EGOT winner, would you believe? The first one to ever win it, as producer only. He has had an Emmy for He Makes Me Feel Like Dancing in 1984, a Tony for 1994's musical Passion, not The Passion of the Christ. Oh, The Passion of the Christ musical, that would be good, wouldn't it?
That'd be interesting.
An Oscar for No Country for Old Men, and a Grammy for The Book of Mormon. He now lives upstate, I assume. Yeah. In 2021, Hollywood Reporter alleged he was abusive to employees, and he's had his name removed from lots of films that he had a hand in, and he's no longer involved in A24 movies.
Oh,
the problem with this podcast is like you learn everybody's a prick. Don't you?
I know there's many of them, isn't there? It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Popular film, yeah, it was fucking massive. This guy's, it's made 191 million US domestic, but the rise in production costs from the film's $25 million budget to its $30 million budget left Orion, who were financially struggling at the time, we've covered a few of their movies, fearful of another big budget flop, to sell the film to Paramount, who completed it and handled the film's domestic distribution, thus making all the money.
winner, chicken dinner. See if they just held on.
Well, exactly. If they'd just thrown another $5 million at it,
aye.
And obviously advertising costs and such, it would have been good.
Anyway. It would be fine. But those credits all look familiar, don't you find?
Oh, yeah.
The black
I
and white
also
with
expected the music to be familiar. It was very Men in Black.
It was, yeah. So it's Barry Sonnenfeld who directed a couple of films we've seen, but Men in Black did get shorty, but it was the black and white sort of big, bold letters, small letters that reminded me of Men in Black.
Oh, Get Shorty, previous episode.
Yeah, previous episode.
I'd blocked that one out because it's so bad.
It's
atrocious, isn't it? It's really bad.
We can't delete it for the internet, so that's still
his debut feature as a director. What a career he had, John, as a cinematographer, Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yeah.
Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, Throw Mama from the Train, Big, When Harry Met Sally, Miller's Crossing, and Misery, The Dirty Bird.
Oh, did he started with the Coen Brothers then? Did he?
Yeah, absolutely. In 1999, he was the sole passenger on a plane that crashed upon landing at Van Nuys Airport. He was unhurt.
Man, that's imagine saying that you survived a plane crash. That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Like Jeff Bridges in...
What one?
What's he in? I was going to say it's Alive. It's not Alive. It's like the film where he's the sole survivor of that airplane. You know the one I mean?
Oh God, I can't remember name it now. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not a great film. So we start with these carolers singing "Deck the Halls," which I quite liked, outside of a house. But above them is the Addams family with this cauldron of boiling oil.
It's ready to go. Yeah.
"Deck the Halls," John. The melody is Welsh.
What?
Dating back to the 16th century and belongs to a winter carol called Nos Galan. Whilst the English lyrics written by the Scottish musician Thomas Oliphant in 1862.
Ollie the Elephant.
The last time Scotland had an elephant or something.
No,
I don't know. Hot oil as a weapon in history, John, was actually rarely used because of cost and availability of oil in medieval Britain.
Jesus.
Instead, they would use boiling water, like you do on ants.
At least they'd wash the peasants. Wash those peasants.
They'd also use hot sand.
Bloody hell.
Get hot sanded.
I know, imagine
it. Yeah, just melted sand all over you. Like pocket sand. Castles often had machalations or murder holes, which allowed the defending folk to drop stuff down on the holes on attackers.
Yep. Now we just use it with peed in when we're at the top of turrets.
Yeah. Murder holes is also what they call you down the docks, John, I
think. Still to be proven.
At daytime in the house, we have Thing, the disembodied hand running around. This, by the way, still looked amazing to me.
Oh, no, it's still got it. Yeah. You can't even notice the sort of anything at the top of the hand. You expect to see like CGI-ish. So it sort of changes a wee bit of colour, but that's fine. Yeah, that still looks
really,
good.
really good. Semi-practical effects, I guess it is.
Mm-hmm.
Gomez Raul Julia is looking in Fester's room. Fester's been gone for 25 years, and still they hold out hope. If you've never seen this film, probably go away and watch it, or maybe go away and watch 2 episodes of that TV show from the 60s that you liked, John.
Aye.
It's only
that
20
called
minutes.
Addams Family.
20 minutes of show. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. It's about a family of Addamses. Upstairs, Wednesday fires a crossbow bolt at Pugsley, and Morticia, Anjelica Huston, lies sleeping.
We've got fact on crossbows.
Oh, please.
Crossbows believed to have originated in China and Greece around the 7th or 5th century BC. Is it BC or BCE? What should we say?
BSE.
BSE. The earliest known representation of crossbows dates back to 400 BC in China.
All right, okay. In China. He's in China. Xiaoping, he's such a great guy. More history of China coming up, funnily enough, in my fact. She puts an apple in his mouth, and I was kind of like, okay, if it was the William Tell thing of put the apple on the son's head, but for some reason she puts it in his mouth. Why put an apple in a roast pig's mouth, John? That's just where my brain goes.
To keep the heat in?
I don't know about that. I never got that, but that could be it. The apple juice seeps into the pig's mouth and cheeks, which improves the taste of the meat. Right? So I quite liked that. I am not putting this next one, though, because I think it's just AI taking the piss out of me, or somebody on the internet going, Planty's going to look this up for 100 things at some point. The apple makes the pig look happy, which can be impressive to guests.
What?
Apparently.
Do you think that's where the expression sweet cheeks comes from?
Oh, very good. Yeah. No, that comes from when I slap your ass.
Sweet cheeks.
I love the relationship that these two have. It's sheer love for one another, while still being utterly overtly sexual in a PG film. Like, they are filth, aren't they? Like, it's dirty as fuck, this.
It's obscene. It's obscene.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of, at the age of 11, a little bit of a sexual awakening for me, maybe.
Oh, Morticia?
I think it might have been.
Well,
maybe, let's say 12 on VHS. But, yeah,
I think
it's hot.
Even the TV programme, she was hot. That and Lily Munster. They were the two kind of... Ooh.
Lily Munster, fantastic looking. But Morticia Addams in the 60s TV show, gorgeous. So pretty.
Oh, it's the eyes of just...
Yeah. God, again, what is it with this pervy podcast of which we are producing?
Let's just appreciate and find...
Brian Clough next week. You can't be like going, I bet he had some cracking testicles or something.
Yeah. Great balls.
He says, unhappy, darling. Yes, completely. I was like, is it my wife? Is it Rachel? It's completely unhappy. Gomez spends his days hitting golf balls into his neighbour, the judge's house. You'd fucking hate him if you lived next door to him.
Oh, God, aye.
Got this stat from pubmed.gov, which I think is like one of those battle royale games on the Xbox. During 1990 through to 2011, an estimated 663,471 individuals were treated in US emergency departments for, quote-unquote, golf-related injuries. This averages at 30,158 annually. There you go.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It is, especially Gomez Addams.
No, but that's because I think it's because they keep, every time you watch one of the fail army things, it's always some American twat fucking crashing a golf cart. That's all they ever seem to do. And eat each other, into fucking trees. What are they up to?
It's very true. Tully is the Addams' lawyer, right?
Addams
and he's Addams E, yeah, and he's here with his wife Margaret. They're having financial troubles, and she says, "Just ask for a loan, as they're the only client you've got left." And he refuses. Inside, the bearskin rug is alive and attacks Tully. Now, Dan Hedaya's great in this, but really, really disappointed he didn't have a marginally racist accent like he does in Commando.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I love listening to your pissant soldiers talk tough, Tully. It makes me laugh.
Or, what else was in? It was good. He's in a lot of things. Cheers? He was in.
Yes,
Cheers.
Of course.
God,
yeah. Again, just plays foreigners, just because he looks like a little bit Hispanic. Before any business, Tully has to sword fight Gomez? ? I never really got this, but it makes for a good action bit kind of throughout. There's plenty of action in it,
Plenty.
Bearskin rug, John. 6 foot brown bearskin rug on Etsy. £1,500. You can fucking keep it. Is the answer.
That's a lot of money for. I wouldn't buy that. I'd rather just get a nice fluffy rug for the IKEA big man.
One made of poly cotton blend from the
Exactly.
IKEA. If the dog has a piss on it, you're all right. Just give it a quick wipe down. Love it. In the attic, Morticia, Grandma, and Lurch are helping out Margaret with stuff for the charity auction. And I love this bit. They're going through these bags. It's like these huge duffel bag things.
Oh, the duffel bags, yeah.
Uncle Knick-Knack's winter wardrobe. Uncle Knick-Knack's summer wardrobe. Uncle Knick-Knack. Fucking keeping him in the loft.
That was really good.
Tully's idea is an offshore fund for Fester. It's it's the Fester retirement fund or something, which is it's so obvious to anybody that's not
open
really,
it in my name. You're
it'll be done under my name for tax purposes, and if under my name it'll be untraceable. And I was kind of at this point, you don't really know these characters, but you've been shown enough of the love that they have for one another and how well they work as a family in the opening 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
and you instantly go, I fucking hate this prick Tully,
Yeah. You're on him straight away.
And it helps that it's Dan Hedaya as well. He's easily dislikable.
He's easily high.
Here's a question I've got, listeners, and John, of course. Is a crooked accountant still a trope in film and TV? Because it used to be massive, didn't it?
It was massive, but I'm not sure now because it's there is accountancy things out there, but it's all done through apps and all these things now, so there's nobody really held accountable now, is there?
Today. Yeah, that's right. Listeners, if you can tell us one that's happening these days, that would be mucho beneficial. Gomez says it's new business, and the rules are no new business until the next quarter. Tully is furious and lunges at Gomez with his rapier and misses, tumbling to the floor. Fine lunge, old man, but your riposte is rusty. Kind of like. Riposte is a quick return thrust.
Ooh.
Chance to be a fine thing indeed.
Riposte, you're senseless.
Riposta, I hardly knew her. Gomez heads to the vault to get the money for the expenses down this secret corridor. By the way, second time this spooky season that we've seen a corridor behind a bookcase.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Now listen carefully. Remove the candle.
It's still funny, isn't it?
Still funny. Weeks and weeks on. Years on. And when he's down there, you can hear a lion's roar, and Gomez basically tells this lion off. You can't see it. It's down, Kitty! Which is a reference, apparently, to Kitty Cat, which was Morticia's pet lion in the 60s.
Yeah, back in the original series.
What a fucking reference. There's loads of deep cuts. I've got a few here.
It really is.
Because I watched a lot of that show. And the internet helps.
Even the house, I was looking at, so the house itself is inspired by the 1960s house, but the house used for the exterior of the Addams Family was torn down in 1967 to make way for a recreational track. Don't know what that is. So
like a running track?
Yeah.
Probably just the horses.
Probably just a car park.
Greyhounds.
Aye, Santa's little helper.
The dogs. Morticia gives Margaret a finger trap from the reign of Emperor Wu.
Yeah, I looked into that as well. Chinese finger trap. Aye, so the Chinese finger trap originated in Austria in 1870 by Dr. Steinberg, a dentist for Vienna. There you go.
Vienna.
It means nothing. It means nothing to me.
Why must finger traps lie to us?
Like this.
So Rick's the one that came up with the nickname, because that day she got us locked in tight from both ends, like a pair of goddamn Chinese finger cuffs.
Finger trap.
It's not very often I get a Chasing Amy reference in this,
no.
But all the way through I was thinking about finger cuffs. Fucking horrible men. Just men are awful, aren't they?
Yeah, we try.
The charity, by the way, is for widows and orphans. And Morticia says, yes, we need more of them.
That's funny.
There's some such good things.
Yeah.
Emperor Wu, John. Who? Wu.
The Wu-Tang Clan? Woo.
Oh, mate, I wish. I wish. Did you watch any of that Wu-Tang Clan thing that's on Disney Plus, by the way?
No.
That TV show. Like, I watched the first few episodes, but it's basically everybody except RZA's a shit. Me and Joe were talking about it the other day. It's good stuff. Everyone but RZA's a prick.
Everybody one guy.
Emperor Wu of Han was the 7th emperor of the Han dynasty from 141 to 87 BC. During his reign as emperor, he led the Han dynasty through its greatest territorial expansion. At its height, the empire's borders sprung from the Fergana Valley in the west to northern Korea in the east and to northern Vietnam in the south. Woo!
Guess about.
What a guy, fucking right. He was
I know.
wooing all over the east.
Be great, good hand-eye coordination. Come on.
Tonight is the 25th seance for Fester. Morticia invites both Margaret and Tully as well. Back in the library, Tully tries to find out which book gets him into the passageway, and he picks up Gone with the Wind, which he opens, and it lets out a gust. Now, this is a little thing of these books I kind of liked. There's a few instances.
Oh, yeah.
It's good use. They throw it in when you've forgotten about it. I quite like it. Gone with the Wind, John, 1939 film we all know, cost $3.85 million to make and has made in excess of $390 million. Adjusted for inflation, it is still the highest grossing film of all time. Take that, the fucking Avengers.
That's quite a hefty sum, isn't it? Quite a markup.
It's been released about 100 times. It's like all those Disney films. They've had 700 releases. They're out every half term, and everyone's like, fuck it, let's go and spend 6 hours watching Gone with the Wind.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen it all the way through, John?
I've struggled. I nearly made it once, but I think I went and made something to eat or something because it was.
It's a
bit
very good film.
It was lovely. Everything about it's beautiful, but it's just it takes ages, man.
It's an half bang on.
I know, and frankly, my plenty. I don't give a fuck.
Gomez weighs and counts out all these doubloons.
Doubloons, yeah.
For the monthly expenses. Ever heard of doubloons?
Only in Lethal Weapon 2.
Cougar Rents. The Cougar Rents. Oh my God. Man, why haven't we done any of those Lethal Weapon movies? Doubloons, a Spanish gold coin. The name comes from Spanish for double, doublon, which references that it was a 2 escudo coin. The Spanish dollar or peso, John, I thought was a lot more interesting though. The silver coin, its basis for the term pieces of 8, and the model for the original US dollar.
Ooh,
there you go. How exciting is that?
That's a good fact.
Back at Tully's office, Miss Craven and her son Gordon are visiting. Now, Gordon or Christopher Lloyd, right? Like the joke is he looks a little bit like Fester, but he is so blatantly nobody could look like Fester like he does.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. And the shape they've made a skinny guy like Christopher Lloyd, this big, huge, hulking monster. What they've fitted him out with here is amazing.
I know. It looks a bit like Gru.
He does. Fucking hell, he does look like Gru.
Like
yeah. Maybe they've based Gru on him. Yeah.
Do that.
And that wig makes him look a little like one of the Beatles.
Which one?
Tully owes them money, and when Gordon starts throwing him around, he knocks the case of doubloons on the floor. Taking a closer look at Gordon, Tully sees that he looks like long-lost Fester Addams. That night, the family are preparing for the seance, and the kids are playing with the TV aerial in a thunderstorm. I mean, watch it. Don't you know that's how Roddle died?
But it just reminded me of Young Frankenstein.
Oh, of course, yes, yeah. That Tully's plan is to dress up Gordon like Fester to get access to the fortune. They conclude they can do this and run off with the money, leaving Tully to take the rap. At the Addams house, Tully and Margaret arrive. She's got her finger stuck in the finger trap, which is this ongoing gag of being constantly stuck in this
all
finger
the
trap.
time,
It's
innit?
great.
Could you help me, sweetie?
Yeah,
Christina.
it's like even a child could do it, kind of thing. There's this bit where Grandmama pretends that Thing is her hand when they're all holding hands at the seance.
Oh, you're too tight. It's quite
yeah, it's quite good. They call for Fester.
What a grip! That's what a grip! That's so funny.
There's a knock at the door when they call for Fester, not once but twice. Thing scurries around the house, opens the door, and it is Fester, or Gordon with a shaved head.
Yeah, but all the while, Lurch is playing his harpsichord, isn't he?
He was, yeah.
Because I looked at it, the harpsichord he plays is originally part of Cousin Crisp's family's 400-year-old. It's like a 400-year-old thing, but I don't know whether they meant in context of it's actually a 4-year-old harpsichord or it's just meant to be part of the sort of Addams family lore. You know what I mean?
Right. The fucking lore is deep, isn't it?
It's proper, because I was looking into like what Lurch plays, and apparently the lore is known for his rock and roll style music. And like, really?
Yeah, because in the show it was very kind of rock and rolly.
He's done Jerry Lee Lewis songs.
Fucking hell! And then he married. Then he fucked and married his cousin.
Woo! Wednesday's child is filth. Whoa!
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
you like
good.
that? Keep that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Which is another fact, by the way, because Wednesday's.
Yes, I also had that. Yeah. That's the joke. By the way, the bloke that plays Lurch, Orion's belt in Men in Black.
Yes. Yep. He's always in Star Trek. He's always
just plays the big cunt in Star Trek.
He always is it Thingy's Diana Troy's mum.
Oh yeah, he's helping her around the spot. Yeah,
and she's the original nurse in Star Trek, the original series.
Is she? Oh,
Nurse. Yeah, there you go.
Let's do these film connections. I'm going to get you to do a video online. I'm going to get you to do 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon at some point. I think.
Oh God,
yeah.
Bother. Give me anybody and I'll get it.
Yeah,
I'll get it for you. No bother.
Yeah. Anyway, this seance, by the way, I can't think of any instances of seances other than like Ghost. You know the movie Ghost.
Yeah.
The only other thing I could think of was the Toffee Crisp advert in the 80s. Are you there, Sydney? Sydney, are you there? That role of that woman, by the way, was star of last week's episode, Liz Smith. In that,
what?
Yeah. In that
Jesus,
advert. I watched it on YouTube and I was like, "That's definitely Liz Smith." I don't care if it's in like it was basically postage stamp video. It was in like I don't know, 4238p. And I was like, "But that's definitely Liz Smith."
A couple of pixels.
Yeah, absolutely. Like fucking Lego people, as Joe always says. Toffee Crisp manufactured by Macintoshes of Halifax in 1963. The last time Halifax had a chocolate factory.
Or a bank manager that sang.
Oh, yeah, he's been cancelled now, hasn't he? He's a bit right wing, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, he's a right nasty bastard now. I was going to say he's called Gordon. He's not called Gordon.
Howard from
the Halifax.
Howard the fuck.
Yeah, for somebody that's got glasses like Charles Autry, he's a bit fucking piss off. A 38-gram toffee crisp today, John, will knock you back 72p at Booze Buster at the end of my street.
Man, I used to love toffee crisps. True fact,
Britain,
when I had my tongue pierced and I had to take it out because I was eating toffee crisp and the toffee would stick to the tongue bar and I would try and bite it and nearly crack my teeth, so I had to take it out. Bloody toffee crisps.
Mate, toffee crisps, not the fact that you put some metal in your gub. Yeah.
You don't want to know what they used to numb my tongue, by the way. So
was it Minteros?
No, I would say Stud 2000. It was to maintain erections.
Stud 2000.
Yeah.
Stud 2000. That sounds like an early PlayStation 1 game, doesn't it? Stud 2000.
Demolition Stud 2000.
The Dr. Pinderschloss, it's basically his mum with this rubbish Frau Blucher accent.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I thought when she was doing.
Apparently, he was found in Miami in a tuna net. The story is they did tests, psychological profile, and then the Florida Department of Fish and Game declared him Fester Addams, and she's bringing them home to him. What is the difference, John, between dolphin-safe tuna nets and not dolphin-safe tuna nets? I was dead keen to know this.
The size of the gaps.
No, absolutely not. Tuna caught without intentionally encircling dolphins with nets is what dolphin-safe tuna nets are. To qualify as dolphin-safe in the United States, the captain of the vessel must provide a written statement certifying no nets were used to encircle dolphins. So, the net is the same.
Mm-hmm.
The captain's less of a cunt.
So it's a circle of trust, isn't it? Circle of trust. Always comes back to that fucking circle of trust.
I can milk it. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk a dolphin?
Greg, can you milk it?
I don't know. I'm a dolphin, Greg. Can you tuna me? I don't fucking know. Yeah. But that feels like there's a lot of because when you're in the high seas, like what rules is? There's no rules, is there?
I know there's no rules. I know there isn't.
Like you can have monkey fights and smoke cigars from Honduras.
Cockfights in the middle of bloody the sea, and nobody would know.
That explains why men were always so happy to go to sea because they had cockfights.
Exactly.
Fester explains he's home for a week, but must return to the Bermuda Triangle, which causes Gomez and Morticia to remember their second honeymoon, which also took in Devil's Island and the Black Hole of Calcutta. Right. Anything, John?
No.
I got loads. The Black Hole of Calcutta, an infamous dungeon where close to 150 prisoners died. The Bermuda Triangle, otherwise known as the Devil's Triangle, is a loosely defined region between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. In a Channel 4 documentary, The Bermuda Triangle, 1992, when it was produced, the marine insurance company, Lloyd's of London, it's a bit of a niche job, but okay, was asked if an unusually large number of ships had sunk in the Bermuda Triangle area. Lloyd's determined that large numbers of ships had not sunk there, and subsequently, Lloyd's does not charge higher rates for passing through the area.
All right. Oh, well. Okay.
So, why, John? Why must Wikipedia lie to us? Probably.
In films? Oh, yeah. God.
Devil's Island, or the penal colony of Cayenne. Penal. Prison Island in French Guiana from 1852 to 1952. The prison system had a death rate of 75% at its worst.
Jesus. That's fucking terrible.
It's the French, innit? Do you know what I mean? I think they were probably running that prison from the Human Centipede 3.
Just stick them on and see who survives.
Yeah. Wednesday says no one gets out of the Bermuda Triangle. Well, she didn't read the same articles I read, so fuck you, Wednesday.
Yep.
In his room, Fester's unpacking. Morticia arrives and helps. Chainsaw, crowbar, cyanide. Fester, as if we'd run out.
I know.
Great.
Have you got anything on...
Do you know what? I didn't do anything on cyanide. I did other stuff. I didn't do anything on cyanide.
So cyanide, despite its historical use for chemical warfare agent, the most common cause of cyanide poisoning is smoke inhalation from fires.
Oh, right. Oh, wow. Wow in a while.
Wow.
Looking around the room, Gordon finds a picture of baby Fester and Gomez in these cages at Camp Custer, and a picture of two ladies, Flora and Fauna. He sinks into his bed, and before he can sleep, hears Thing, and it grabs his knee, and he's screaming. Gomez and Morticia lying in bed. Screams in the night can mean only one thing. He's home. The next morning, Gomez wakes Gordon up, who throws him to the floor before Gomez throws him over his shoulder. Breakfast? And then as he's leaving, he throws a knife at his head. He's like, best of three. So, are these characters, are they indestructible? Like, can they not be killed until a predetermined time when they're either murdered by townsfolk or what? What is the story?
Yeah, because there's a couple instances where Wednesday's trying to kill Pugsley.
Yeah,
and it's given big knives to do so. So it's a very weird one. Are they indestructible? Yeah. Who knows?
Well, they are till a certain point because they've got a fucking graveyard full of people.
Aye, true.
Gordon explains he slept like the dead, which is not like Fester. Flag number 1, listeners. He says
Yeah,
being
because
back in the room brings memories.
it's insomniac, wasn't he?
Yes, that's the whole thing. He doesn't sleep at all, or he screams all
So,
night.
do you want to know my remedies for
Oh, go
insomnia?
on.
So, create a relaxing bath or bedtime routine.
All right.
This includes taking a bath, reading a book, listening to music, or doing yoga.
Oh, or emptying your
Avoid
butt.
I will. No, it makes me go to sleep. Avoid caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol close to bedtime. So don't drink
You're not the
close to
boss of
bedtime.
me.
Don't tell me what to do. Exercise regularly during the day. And
No.
avoid naps and make your bedroom as comfortable as possible. There you go.
Okay. Well, that's great. And look, listeners, it's been a while since we said it, but remember, we're a public service.
Yeah, we're here for you.
That's exactly what we do. Gordon says he wants to wander through the house, remembering. Nope, today they're off to the vault. At the bookcase, we see the book that lets you in is called Greed. They head down a slide to a dock where there's a gondola waiting for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're singing this song, by the way, which I had never heard at all. It's called Playmates by Saxy Dowell. Saxy. A version by Kay Kaiser and his orchestra, not the Kaiser.
The Kaiser Chiefs.
Because every prick in like the mid-1900s had an orchestra, didn't they?
Oh god, aye, yeah. That was status, wasn't
it? Made the Billboard chart in the US on the 20th of July, 1940, which was the first week of the chart. It was number 4, and then the next week it was gone.
Who presented it? Tony Blackburn?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so they go down this slide, this fucking fairground slide, where there's a gondola waiting for them.
Yeah.
Gondola, tapered 32-foot, long, flat, bottom boat. You make the rocking world go round. Historically associated with the canals and lagoons of Venice, and will carry from 2 to 6 passengers, and one of them shouting pricks with the stick.
And the other one's falling asleep.
Yeah. Upstairs, the kids are playing a game in an electric chair. What game? It's called Is There a God?
That is dark.
The gondola comes to a...
No, I was just going to say, like when they said about the vault, I looked up vault, and obviously we've came on a long way in respect to security and just technology in general. So I looked up the most impenetrable vault in the world, and it's still fucking Fort Knox.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's still classed as the most impenetrable vault in the whole wide world.
But Ulrich Goldfinger got into it in like the 70s.
I know.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die of gold.
I expect you to die.
I remember.
Another fact that I found just at a random, so like the production side of things. So I looked up the choices for Gomez Addams for this.
Couldn't have been. I don't care who they are. They cannot have been better.
No, that was it. He was the original choice. There was nobody else. This is the first time I've actually came. That's the first time I came up with something that they've not had anybody else in mind. He was the only choice. That was the only one. So well done him. And it was great. I couldn't imagine anybody being Gomez Addams.
Yeah. Absolutely not picked from this. We picked this because it's spooky with them, and it's on Netflix, so it was free for us to watch because we've got those accounts. 30 years ago yesterday, as we're recording this on Friday the 25th, so 24th of October 1993, Raul Julia died.
Yeah.
It was a sad day for his family, but for me, it was just a Tuesday. Which is easily the best line in that fucking godforsaken Street Fighter film.
Apparently, when he got diagnosed, he was still making that film and he wanted to complete it for his children.
For his kids.
Like,
fucking don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
what a guy.
Yeah. What a fucking guy. Yeah, because the follow-up to this was like 93 as well. So they must have gone... This is a fucking huge hit. Let's get them back in.
Let's get them back in. Yeah. No messing about.
Yeah.
Anyway. Plus, the kids were really small, so they had to do it quite quick for.
But you can see a huge difference between little tiny Wednesday Addams in this, who must have been like 10, because I had a very age appropriate crush. I've had a very age appropriate crush throughout my life on Christina Ricci because we are the same age, and she's like a month younger than me.
Right, okay.
Because she was 11 when this came out. I was 11 when this came out. So it's perfectly age
So
appropriate.
it's acceptable, that's fine.
Yeah, and then watching Yellow Jackets, she's nutty as fucking Yellow Jackets as well. So
Yeah.
it's always the crazy ones, isn't it? It's
I know,
always
but-
the crazy ones.
But that film with Liam Neeson where she's in the mortuary blew my mind. You ever seen
What is that? No, I've not seen that.
it? I'll tell you about it later.
I'm thinking Black Snake Moan, where she gets
No, this is even
chained to a radiator like Terry Waite. Terry Waite's never looked so sexy.
Go and get him out. Just tie him in the radiator. Jesus. But I'll tell you about that later.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm googling it as we speak. Can we just take 15 minutes?
Take 5.
I want to do it twice. There's a fucking film here somewhere. Oh yeah. So as the gondola comes to a halt at the vault, which you so kindly told us, John, Gomez finishes singing "O Sole Mio," written in 1898. The Neapolitan language lyrics are written by Giovanni Capruccio, and the music was composed by Eduardo de Cooper and Alfredo Mazzucci. The title translates literally to "My Son" or "My Sunshine." Of course, John, it was the opening ceremony of the 1920 Summer Olympics in Antwerp when it was played in place of the Italian national anthem, whose sheet music had not been delivered in time for the band.
Oofed.
But we know it as the 80s Cornetto advert.
Yep.
Just one cornetto, give it to me.
Delicious ice cream from
Italy. From where? Greece.
Why?
Delicious ice cream from Wapping High Street. That's something. The code to get in is 21011. It's eyes, fingers, and toes. I mean, I absolutely didn't realise they were from Leicester. Gomez looks through some old cine film and sends Gordon to get them a brandy. He takes the lid off this decanter that spins the floor around to reveal this room full of doubloons. It's quite good. He spins around again and they watch the film of their childhood. Gordon thinks the debutante ball was when Gomez first had his first cigar, but Mother insisted that I smoked since I was 5. Again, flag number 2. The video shows flora and fauna, and we learn that this is when Fester ran off to the Bermuda Triangle. Gordon tells Gomez he forgives him, and Gomez puts him in the headlock, telling him he needs to give him the password. He almost chokes him out, and Gordon tells him they aren't children anymore and that he's a demented freak. It's a bit harsh, but flag 3. Up in the playroom, Wednesday electrocutes Pugsley, and it's the grin from her, this demented little grin that this little girl's got. Is great acting.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's really good.
We head to the auction. Gomez and Morticia bid against one another for the finger cuffs, and it's basically foreplay? ? I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty. Gets hit up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, listeners, I'm not saying I don't know what foreplay is when I say that. I've got to be honest. Unless you're my wife, you won't know if I'm joking or not. Yeah. So, but what I will say is, having worked probably about 100 auctions in a previous job, they're never quite as sexy as this.
No.
I feel like I was always set up for really sexy auctions, and it's just full of really angry-looking builders who are happy that they're having to pay through the nose.
I'm sure everybody watched Home Under the Hammer.
when I find that when next time it airs, I'm going to record me on Homes Under the Hammer, and I'm going to edit it just enough to put it on our YouTube channel so people can watch.
So everybody will know.
Yeah. In the car, Gordon can't get his fingers out of the cuffs, and it's another flag. Back in the house, Gomez is angrily playing with his trains. And the line is, he wore that finger trap for 4 years. Mother had to teach him to eat with his feet.
So good. So good.
And it's basically like crashing 2 trains together is what he's going to do. Downstairs, Gordon's getting ready to hit the vault. Unfortunately for him, he picks the wrong pull chain and it spits him down this tunnel of the house. Doesn't it?
Up and through. It's quite good.
The model train, did you see the guy on the model train, John?
Yeah. It was... They never had it on the original season, the series. They had the train crashes, but they never had anybody in them.
No, but it's got Barry Sonnenfeld is the
Mm-hmm.
director is in the train, which I quite like.
As well.
So this head-on collision, I assume the director was replaced after he got blammoed, but I don't know. Outside, Morticia takes Gordon around the graveyard, covering all the family members buried there, including Muerto, his vulture. After you left, he wouldn't circle or peck. That's how much you mean to this family. I was going, oh, and they did this really good bit of like having sound effects as they go around. It's like they're almost triggering these little things, and the Muerto's like, wah, wah. That's quite like that. Vultures, John. A black vulture will live 10 years. A king vulture, 30 years.
What?
I guess it's because they're not covered
vulture?
in shit.
True that. Do you want to hear a good fact?
Yeah, mate, that's what the podcast's about. That will be good.
So given that there's 8 million people on this planet, there's roughly 0.11% chance that any given person's got a twin stranger. So that doppelganger.
Oh wow!
So
wow.
That means in a group of 10,000 people, there's likely to be 11 doppelgangers.
Wow.
There you go.
Fucking hell.
Just drop that in there. Mind blown.
Nice. Me and Rufus Hound, I think, is probably.
But
unlike him, I'm not a sex pest.
Me and Richard Goff, apparently.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Richard Goff. Oh, ex-Forest player Richard Goff, by the way. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I was going to say Blind Loudrup, but hey, what do I know? When I had my Chandler Bing hair, big man.
Oh, you stuck in the vestibule. We assume that she's also on to Gordon here. The next morning on the phone to Mother, Gordon demands that she comes to help because they know. She arrives and Gordon tells her that they're on to him. She says that she'll counsel them as their doctor. While Gomez and Morticia talk to the doctor, the kids are fencing and practicing this play. Gordon runs down the stairs and tells them they need to go for the jugular when you're murdering someone. The doctors explain to Gomez that he's feeling guilt, and it's guilt for driving Fester away. Gomez is convinced that Gordon is Fester. Meanwhile, Fester or Gordon is showing the kids a book called Wounds, Scars and Gouges, and the line is, ooh, gangrene.
Cute kids.
And then they flip the page and they all go, scabs. And for some reason, I thought I was watching football away in South Yorkshire. He shows them how to blow stuff up. He's really winning them around. Like,
yeah. No, to the point where he feels comfortable.
Where did you learn all this stuff? Oh, I've been a lot of places and I pick a lot of things up. And it's kind of me. It's kind of how I am. Mother's arrived. She tells Gordon that he can't go to the children's play because the vault will be because the house will be empty. Then go in the vault. And then she grabs him. Listen to the sound of my heart. It says, "Gordon, I love you. Gordon, the vault." Yes. Gordon, I love you. Gordon, the vault. And it's just the sing-song way she does it. I like to think, had she been in better fettle, this would have been a really good role for the girlfriend in Young Frankenstein. I've forgotten her name already. Miss Scarlet.
Oh, yeah.
I know Mrs. White. Mrs. White. Yeah. And the flames and the side of my face. Gomez tells Gordon that he wants him to stay. All the years apart, they can't do it again. He's home now. So they hit golf balls into the judge's house.
Yeah. Do you want to know the longest drive ever?
Oh, yeah, that'll be good. Yeah.
Kyle Berkshire holds the record for the longest ever drive, hitting a ball 579.6 yards. So wow. 579. So put that in context. I think the most recent one was 2019, and the drive was something like 450 yards. So that was an exceptional hit.
Christ on a bike. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Later, Fester wants to head to the play, but he's shut himself in his room when the kids come call him. At the school, Wednesday's teacher has concerns. They have to do a theme of heroes. One kid did the president, the other did Barbara Bush. We've done fucking President and Barbara Bush to death. Yeah. And thankfully, they are both dead, which I'm quite happy about. One of them does Jane Pauley, Jane Pauley was the host of the Today Show and Dateline NBC. No wonder Morticia was concerned for this. Have you spoken to her parents? Wednesday's picked Great Aunt Calpurnia, who was burned as a witch after running naked through the town. Don't worry, we've told Wednesday college first. Yes.
That's good.
Margaret is telling her son he's too precious for words and that she could eat him alive. Oh no, Margaret, too young. I did some looking up cannibals, which there was like a lot of facts and things. My favourite one, because I just picked one. Fiji was once nicknamed the Cannibal Isles.
Really?
Yeah, I assume by I don't know Boris Johnson. It's the kind of thing he would do in it.
Lost family, are they? That's weird.
Yeah. There's all these kids singing Get to Know You from The King and I, which I absolutely intended to look up, but I think we might have done before. The Addams Family look absolutely fucking shell-shocked with these kids singing this great song. Backstage, Gordon's turned up after all with a gift for the kids. It's this wrapped-up thing. At the mansion, Mother's grabbed by this creeper. The plant, not Hey John in the bushes. The kids are on now, and they're performing Act 4, Scene 4 of Hamlet, John. Mm-hmm. The most famous Hamlet?
The Russ Abbott cigar.
It's funny. I also have those little cigars. But I had those little cigars that Gregor Fisher used to advertise.
Oh, yeah, the baldy man.
Gregor Fisher, the baldy man.
Yeah, the baldy man. Yeah.
£8.75 for 10 at Havana House Cigar Merchants.
Right.
They were first launched in the United Kingdom in 1964. The battle ends with them both hit and Gordon spraying blood at the whole audience, who are covered in claret, horrified, including the judge. The judge is fucking everywhere. The judge fucking gets about, doesn't he? It's almost like they went, right, okay, let's have 15 principal characters in this. And they got to 14. They went, we do need another one. And there's a scene later on where we go and see a judge. So let's make a cunt of him, like in 6 or 7 different scenes.
And then we'll bring him in properly as a character.
Yeah, it's like we've really got to show how much he hates this family.
Oh, yeah. God, aye.
The family, of course, are the most supportive human beings alive, and they stand up and applaud. That night, Gordon tucks in Wednesday, and it's really sweet.
Yeah. She came up with that herself, laying her hands across her chest like a dead person.
Oh, did she like Dracula?
Yeah. She I think it was an interview with Anjelica Huston, and she said that, yeah, she came up with that herself. So, good on her.
What a fucking clever little child.
Yeah.
Gomez and Morticia sit and talk about how they met at this cousin's funeral. By the way, they've got this stone couch outside, which is on some...
Yeah, it's got something written on it, but I couldn't make it out.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out either. They met at his cousin's funeral. Nobody even looked at the corpse. And you were still a suspect. It's so fucking grim.
So grim, isn't it?
The next morning, Lurch is watering the plants and finds Mother in the creeper. The doctor / mother arrives for Gordon, and the family say that if he must leave, then they'll have a party for him. She leaves. As she leaves, Mother tells Gordon these are not his family, but she is, and not to forget that. That night at the party, Cousin It arrives. He's basically loads of hair and a stupid hat.
Did you see the car he arrived in?
Yes, yeah. What was that?
1953 Messerschmitt KR 175. Yeah. The actual car itself, the Addams Family car, is a 1932 Picard Deluxe 8. What a beautiful car.
Good work. By the way, this little character, played by the actor John Franklin, who was Isaac in Children of the Corn.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, remember Malachi and Isaac's little fuckers, man.
Which explains why he's wearing a stupid hat in the film.
Yeah. That's why he's so small. God, I forgot.
Yeah, there you go. So does Margaret kind of run off and marry a child?
Child of the corn?
A cousin of the corn.
Children of the cob.
He ends up dancing with Margaret. Wednesday goes up to check on Fester, and when she opens the door, she sees Mother shaving his head as they're talking about the vault. I knew it! You are a fake. He chases her, but she escapes down a trapdoor and out of the house on those tubes into the graveyard, where he loses her.
The Jeffries tubes.
At the party, Flora and Fauna and Moore are here. They are conjoined twins, John.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Double the fun.
Conjoined twins, Basil. They tell Tully that Fester is the older brother, so he gets everything now. Anything on conjoined twins?
No.
Good, because I've got it all. Conjoined twins are twins joined in utero. Good album, that. It's a very rare phenomenon, estimated to occur in anywhere between 1 and 49,000 births. 1 in 49,000 births to 1 in 189,000 births. Chang and Eng Bunker, born 1811 and died 1874, were brothers born in Siam, which is now Thailand, who travelled widely for many years and were known internationally as the Siamese twins. Chang and Eng were joined at the torso by a band of flesh and cartilage and their fused livers. Today, they could easily have been separated. But that, John, is where the name Siamese twins comes from.
Nice. Well done. I thought it came for the cats and...
we are Siamese, if you please. Can you do that anymore?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. They did cut a bit out, but I don't think it's that bit.
It's probably like a cat smoking or something.
I think they're wearing hats.
Oh, they're doing the thing. Yeah, they're doing the thing. At the party, Fester arrives and Gomez dances the mamushka. He says, "We danced it while Nero fiddled. We danced the mamushka at Waterloo. We danced it for the Zodiac Killer. And we danced it when Rangers got demoted to the 3rd Division." Something. He might have said those things. I'm not sure. It's a good dance thing with knives and Gordon gets involved. The man conducting the orchestra during the mamushka, by the way, a guy called Mark Simon, who actually composed the music in real life.
Did he compose it?
He composed it. Richard.
Tom Wall holds the world record for juggling the most knives, just so you know.
All right.
With 103 throws and catches 5 knives. He'd done 6 throws and 6 knives, which means he just threw it once. So
5 knives at Freddy's.
6 knives. Happy days. Well done, you, Tom Wall. Don't thank me. Thank him. Thank that guy.
Good work, you knife-throwing twat. Tully heads to talk to the judge about a plan to get rid of the Addamses. And Margaret talks with Cousin It. He tells her that they can meet again, I think. And she's like, "Call me!" Back in the house, Gordon dances to his room to Mamushka, but Mother is waiting for him. She's unhappy that he's had a good time. She does the guilt trip thing. "I'm just your mother. You only owe me your entire existence," which was far too real, knowing what my mother's like. Far too real. Downstairs, the family are planning looking for Wednesday. Gordon tells him he'll wait in the house for Wednesday if she comes back. Lurch in the car park lifts this VW Beetle, by the way, to see if she's underneath it.
Yeah, it's great cool, isn't it?
And I bet you thought, John, that there was no more Beetle facts on this podcast.
Ooh,
I've got one.
More?
1958 VW Beetle Cabrio, unladen weight of 1,764 pounds or 800 kilograms.
Liftable.
If you're a big prick, which you are.
Eddie Hall.
Gomez finds her in the family crypt. On returning to the house, we see that Tully's locked the gate and they have a restraining order. He says Fester is scared of Gomez. Gomez says justice of the courts will prevail. "They say a man who represents himself is a fool. Well, as God is my witness, I am that fool." And there's this fucking smash cut to the judge. And it's like, "With no small amount of personal satisfaction, I declare Fester Addams legal executor of the state." The family pack up and think pulling this little red cart is cute. I remember this.
That's very good. Yeah, it's good.
Now, I remember this as being the lion's share of the film, John, but we've only got 22 minutes left.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
Certain this was a huge bit of the film.
Aye. And not a lot goes on in it as well.
No, they peg this bit in no end. Gordon, Tully and Mother are failing to get in the vault. Meanwhile, the family are in this motel. This won't break their spirits because they're Addamses. The kids are selling drinks at the roadside. Lurch takes one and it causes him to breathe fire. Mm-hmm. Behind him is an advert for Tombstone Pizzas, John. Tombstone Pizzas are real and have been since 1962. They were originally launched by Pep and Ron Simek. The name came from the Tombstone Tap, a tavern owned by the brothers, which was located across from a cemetery.
All right, okay.
The little girl, there's a little girl turns up selling Girl Scout cookies, and she asks if the lemonade is made from real lemons. And the line is, "Are your cookies made from real Girl Scouts?"
That's so good, isn't it?
Did you recognise the little girl, by the way?
Oh, well, there's girls.
No, it's not Tim Curry.
Is it no? Is it in the Brady Bunch?
No, well, she might be, but it's the little girl in the second movie.
Oh, the one
at
that's at camp?
Because I went to Rachel. No, it isn't. And Rachel looked it up and she went, "It absolutely
It is. God, so
it is. Great. Absolutely great casting. Amanda Buckman, she's called in it. She's awful in that next. It's such a good film.
Oh,
next film's such a good film.
Good.
I mean, this is great fun and it's a great little caper. But that next film is just a brilliant kind of coming of age movie.
Although the thing I found about the second one is Uncle Fester really worth all the hassle? That's what I'm saying. It's really.
Oh, he puts them through a lot of shit, doesn't he?
In this one and the next one. So I'm thinking, is it worth it?
Yeah, Fester is
he's
the main character in all of them, isn't he? That wig they put him in and the white suit.
The second one and the white one. Oh, it's so good.
Fucking brilliant. Class. Oh my God. And that's before we start talking about Debbie.
Oh God, I don't. God, I.
So Morticia heads to this recruitment agency and she says her majors at college were spells and hexes. And the woman's like, "I'll put liberal arts." She gets a job in a preschool where she's telling the story of Hansel and Gretel to these children. It's the gruesome version and it makes them cry. It's really grim.
Proper crying, yeah.
To make the children cry, Barry Sonnenfeld told them they were all going to get measles shots.
Oh, what a sod.
And because of it, one of the parents chased him to his car.
Really?
Said he was going to kill him, yeah.
God.
Which is really good. This, funnily enough, John, this playgroup crying is exactly like me telling people at Tom and Laura's wedding last week about our podcast.
Oh, really?
Like you could see like the light flicker out from behind their eyes, and I was talking about it. Except for Tom's three cousins who lovely lads who are absolutely going to go away and listen. So,
good.
It's
good.
yeah. That's a shout out to the new Mr. and Mrs. Sefton Sefton and Barrett. They're keeping their own names. I've told Tom he should change his name, but he wasn't for it because he's not progressive. Because he's stuck in the past. Stuck in his past.
Some people just really like their names, though.
Yeah. This could have been John and Rooney if I'd have taken Rachel's name. Rooney. Yeah. Except I'm not quite.
Do you like grannies?
Oh, me likes grannies. Thing gets a job as a courier in the office. This is pretty good, throwing boxes at people to this jazz track.
Yeah.
This jazz track, by the way, could not have been any more 90s movie if it tried.
Oh, it really was.
Gomez isn't in a great place. He's watching Sally Jesse Raphael when she's talking about the voodoo witch doctors.
Funny.
We'll take a call. It's Gomez. Hello, Sally. Mr. Addams, stop calling. We don't know where they are. So good.
Oh, so good. Sally Jesse Raphael ran from 1983 to 2002 and was cancelled due to low ratings.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, at least she didn't, finger anybody. That's got to go for her.
That's true.
The one thing I always think about Sally Jesse Raphael is there's a Simpsons in Homer Badman. There's this bit where it's Sally Jesse Raphael is like, "I'll watch some TV. That'll cheer me up." He's watching TV, and it's and now we're talking about Homer Simpson. I don't know Homer Simpson. I've never met Homer Simpson, and then she bursts into tears. Your tears say more than real evidence ever could.
That's so good.
There's this bit. Shall we go out for a drive? And Miss Gilligan.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm assuming we was talking about Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island. Yeah.
That's it. Right. And did you ever watch it?
No, I've never seen a second of it. Couldn't tell you. The only thing I know is from The Simpsons of the bit where I'm going to take his hat and hit him.
Right. So all I've got is it follows the comedic adventures of several castaways as they try and survive on an island where they were shipwrecked. It ran from September 26th, 1946 to April 17th, 1967.
All right, okay.
1964, sorry.
Who plays Wilson?
Wilson!
Wilson! Yeah.
Wilson.
So she goes, Morticia goes to the mansion with Thing following her. Tully, Gordon, and Mother tie to a rack. Tully, tighten it, but I get the stomach thing when I torture is a fucking great line. And then when he tightens the rack, she goes, "Oh, you've done this before." It's like, maybe this is why I had a bit of a sexual awakening. Thing makes a run for it, and there's some good stuff in the traffic. When he arrives back, there's this brilliant bit of trying to sign language, and he ends up doing Morse code on the table.
Yeah.
Gomez.
And the pen didn't work. He was trying to write it as well, and the pen didn't work.
Oh, the pen doesn't work. He gets furious. Yeah. The family car arrives just as they're about to shaft her with these hot pokers. Gomez and Tully fence until Mother pulls a pistol. She's given them an hour to find the gold before she does for Morticia. She berates Gordon, saying he's a snivelling baby. I should have left you where I found you. Just as Gomez is about to open the bookcase, Gordon stops him. That's the wrong book. Instead, he picks Hurricane Irene, Nightmare from Above, doesn't he?
Oh, God.
There have been 7 Irenes in the Atlantic, John, between 1953 and 2011, after the nasty last one, which was a Category 3 hurricane that struck the Bahamas and the United States, causing a damage of $14.2 billion. They retired the name, and they now use Irma.
Oh, really? Because Irene was just can't imagine calling it Irene too many times. It's like, no, I can't do it again.
It's because Auntie Irma's visiting. That's what it is. Gomez frees Morticia and they make a run for it. Gordon says she's a terrible mother and opens the book, which causes this huge storm in the room. Lightning, wind, and rain. It's the first time it's looked like shit, by the way. I think it's this, for me. Tully and Mother are thrown out the window and into these graves with tombstones on their names. The actual stones, not the pizzas. And Pugsley says, are they dead? And Wednesday, does it matter?
Nice.
And this is the very, very end. 7 months later, the kids arrive to trick or treat, and Lurch opens the door, and these bunch of kids run off. Pugsley's dressed like Fester. It's very cute. Margaret and Cousin It are here too. Wednesday's costume is a homicidal maniac because they look like everybody else.
Oh, nice.
We learn that Lightning gave Fester his memory back. Gordon was Fester, and he really was found in a tuna net. They agree to play Wake the Dead, which is where the family dig up their ancestors. It's grim as fuck.
Yep.
They're all digging up corpses. Morticia tells Gomez she's pregnant, and we see that she's been knitting a striped jumper for the baby, which, as we all know, is Pugsley in the next film with his little moustache.
Little tash, yeah.
Great Aunt Lavinia! She was beheaded by her own children, Gomez shouts, which I kind of like. And that's the movie. In the final credits, it has this really weird bit. It says, the director and producer gratefully acknowledge the consulting services and assistance of the Lady Coylton in the making of this film. Lady Coylton, 1915 to 2004, was a creative consultant and crew member of the 92 TV series The Addams Family. There was a cartoon. She was also the second wife of Charles Addams, the creator of the Addams Family characters.
Right.
The T. and Charles Addams Foundation announced that in 2010, it had secured from the lady's estate 75% ownership of the Addams Family intellectual property that Addams had signed over to her in their divorce in 1988.
What? Jesus.
Song over the final credits, John, is disgusting. I heard it a few times. It's the Addams Groove by MC Hammer.
The Addams Family.
The Addams Family. I'd honestly forgot it existed, and arguably Hammer deserves to lose all of his money for this load of crap.
I think he did.
27 in the stupid Sexy Flanders Ultra Pop chart. 21 in a unified Germany. 14 where, John?
The Netherlands.
Hey! 4 in the UK and Ireland, so it was. And inexplicably, it sold 500,000 copies in the US.
What?
Yeah. White people loved rap in the early 90s. They loved shit rap in the early 90s.
They love C-rap.
Right, that's all I've got. Have you got any more?
The theme song for the 1964 TV programme The Addams Family is written and arranged by an American composer called Vic Mizzy.
Okay.
The story of the tortoise and the hare, because they said that.
Oh, yeah.
Originated in ancient Greece and is attributed to Aesop. the legendary storyteller who lived around 620 to 564 BC before credit cards.
Okay. That your lot?
And that's what I got. That's it. Done.
Fantastic. So it's your turn, John, as I top them up to guess how many do you think we got?
Oh. I want to say 89.
Ooh, can you go higher?
92.
Could you go higher than that?
98.
And could you beat 100?
106.
Oh, 107.
Oh,
107.
that's
That's all right, isn't it? Not too shabby at all, I'd say.
Nice.
Yeah, fantastic. I was quite happy with that. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, that's because it was a bit. There was a little bit when I was actually watching it, going, "God, is it going to actually? Am I going to get into me this?"
Yeah,
no,
we're going to get
right.
anywhere near this. Yeah, absolutely. If you like what we do, again, give us a quid, please, at patreon.com/100 things film pod. Like all these lovely people. We have got James and Joe from Hallmark of Greatness, which a couple of days, if you're listening to this on day of release, a couple of days from now, you can go over to Hallmark of Greatness and listen to us talk about 1992's, 93's Ghostwatch. You remember Ghostwatch, John?
Yes, with Parky and
Sarah
Daniel,
Green. You can hear me
I was
tell
going to say Daniel Craig there.
You can, Craig Charles. You can hear me tell stories of having worked very briefly with Sarah Green on work experience, and what a fucking arsehole she was.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and but I might have been because I told her she was married to Mike Reed.
That's an easy mistake to make.
Ran around. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Lee Davies, Candy, Oodles, Stig, Biggie, and Gadget from Modern Escapism. Kieran, we've got Jake, we've got lovely Rob Jones. We've got Jen and the memory of James. We've got Megan. Happy birthday, Megan, for the day we are recording this, which you won't be listening to on that day. Dale and Ali. We've got Maria and Ian from Cult Connections. Ian, by the way, is spending a holiday in Croatia. The lucky bastard. Paul from SP Film Viewers, Ian McComish, Nigel Davies, Dan and Gavin Belson, Aaron from Z1 Podcast. Aaron, I know stuff's not great at home at the minute with the family. Much love and all of our karma sent for your little one. We have got Mono. Fantastic Mono. I've spoken to Mono in a while. I'll have to see how he's getting on. Gav McGill, who's picking next week's episode. Josh Wilson, super familiar with the Wilsons. Wonderful, absolutely long-hassled wife, Rachel Plant, for the work she does with me, and Phil Fairish. So, thank you to those wonderful human beings. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
John, any last words? I'm going to fucking put you out in front of a firing squad.
Just watch yourself in spooky season with all those little trick-or-treating bastards in case they try and hit your car with eggs.
Yeah, we've never done so many spooky season films, by the way.
Yeah,
I went through the list of spooky season films we've done, not in spooky. We've done a lot of fucking horror, a lot of comedy horror, but we've never ever done quite as many in the month of October as we've done.
Yeah, done fair few. So we need to go into comedy soon, like proper comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. But for now, he's been John, I've been Planty, and this has been 107 things we learned from the Addams Family.
See you guys.